Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Listen, people. You know, we talk a lot about Earl Spence being concerned about him and his health and well-being, long-term effects of the car accident, and the damage he took in the Crawford fight. I talk about Deontay Wilder and the damage he took in that second and third Tyson Fury fight, long-term effects of that. We talk about Anthony Joshua and just the mental scarring and just the overall psychological demise of AJ since losing to Andy Ruiz and the consecutive losses to Usyk. But forget about those guys. Roy Jones Jr. Let me tell y'all, man. I don't like to see him still out here fighting. I mean, enough is enough. But I've done a video on Roy Jones where I talked, in depth about the things I found out about Roy and him, the debt, bad investments, reason why he went over there, became a Russian citizen, the deal basically to have his debt paid off, but he had to basically help, the sports program, boxing in particular in Russia, and him just being in a bad space. So I take all that with a grain of salt. The articles I read, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can just put in Roy Jones Jr. and you'll see the videos that I've done. But he's looking, to come back in a crossover boxing match with some MMA fighter named Fedor Emelianenko. And I just don't like it. I'm telling you, I don't. Now, you know what Roy Jones is going to say? Well, Roy Jones, I do what the hell I want. I do what I want. Ain't nobody tell me what Roy Jones, what the hell I can do. They kiss my ass, because Roy Jones Jr. still getting there with the best of them. It's just like when he was out there talking that crap when, Vladimir was like, yo, Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? And giving him pressure because Roy Jones Jr. wasn't really speaking out against Russia invading Ukraine. And I think Roy Jones was right. Look, you don't attack me because I'm not speaking out against it. But what I caught, I don't know if y'all caught it, is Roy Jones Jr. looking to turn that into an opportunity to make some money and calling for a fight with Vladimir, saying, how I solve things basically with my hands in the ring. So he was like, he picked up quick. I caught it. I don't know if y'all caught it. I was like, oh, he trying to get paid. He trying to fight Vladimir. Vladimir ain't thinking about fighting over damn Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line, right, is this guy, Emelianenko. He did an interview, and during the interview, he said something along the lines like he would like to fight, Mike Tyson. And he thought it was interesting to see Roy Jones and Mike Tyson when they had that little exhibition, you guys should remember. But he goes on to talk about, Roy and Mike Tyson being legends, and in particular, Roy Jones Jr., how you see a lot of his videos on YouTube, he's still hitting the pads, shadow boxing, still look like he has power. Now, Roy Jones got wind of this interview, just like Vladimir Klitschko calling him out on the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, and Jones like, hey, well, then let's settle it in the ring. A way to get paid. Now this guy mentions Roy Jones' name, and Roy Jones goes on and says, look, Fedor doesn't need to fight Mike Tyson. He needs to fight me. I'm sure it'll be an incredibly big event. Now, this is the crazy part. Even though it's on paper, it's true. He says, we are both Russian athletes. It'll be very interesting, Jones said to somebody, right? Yo, let me tell you something, man. I don't see how Roy Jones can seriously consider himself a Russian. I mean, come on, man. Hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Roy Jones is a Russian athlete. I get it, the dual citizenship. I understand there's a lot more involved than Roy Jones just being a likable guy that they just wanted to grant him citizenship to Russia. Y'all stop for a second and ask yourself, but a guy, from what we see, right, because I don't know, none of us know the leadership over there in Russia, what would make the leadership in Russia decide to give Roy Jones Jr. citizenship, dual citizenship at that? Okay, doesn't make sense. But anyway, this guy, Emelianenko, in case you're curious, he's 46 years old, so he's not a spring chicken, but he has 40 wins and 7 losses in mixed martial arts. Now, I'm going to tell you, he's a 4-time world champion, okay, and a 9-time Russian champion in combat sambo. That's tough wrestling, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, for Roy Jones at 54 to still be out here looking to compete, I just don't get it. Look, on July 1st, man, he lost a close decision to Anthony Pettis in a boxing match, man. And it doesn't matter what all Roy Jones Jr. did across 4 different weight divisions. And, you know, he should have got the gold medal. He got the silver. We all know the story. It doesn't matter. He needs to stop this, right? He's made headlines for all the outstanding things he's done in boxing. He's made headlines for the bad investments. He's made headlines in 2015 for becoming a Russian citizen. But I just feel he's going to make headlines for getting, you know, savagely beaten in the ring and have life-altering effects to where he can't even, you know, carry a conversation. Like, at some point, he's going to have to figure it out, man. But anyway, he's doing what he wants, looking to make a fight with this guy in a crossover fight. And we'll see what happens. But I just really think Roy Jones, it's time to stop. You know, take a knee. But I don't know his situation. But to me, Roy Jones being arguably maybe the most talented, athletic, exciting, entertaining fighter ever, right? To see this man still out here at 54 fighting and losing, and why? That's the question. And we'll never know. But I'll tell you, I've covered it in other videos. You can go look them up. Matter of fact, let me see if I could pull some up and I can show you. It's very unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. Roy Jones Jr. is still out here messing around. Let me pull this up for you real quick, right? Let me type this in, because he blew my mind with the whole citizenship in Russia. I was like, what in the world is going on? You know, I just couldn't believe it. Okay, so let me go here and see if I can pull all that up for you. All right, so you can see here. What's the date? Okay, so June 14th, 2022, I put one out. Roy Jones calls out Vladimir Klitschko. Roy Jones Jr. is fearing for his life if he quits training Russian athletes. Secret Society had Roy Jones Jr. by the plums. He's talking about, this is the one you need to watch. This one right here. The Secret Society has Roy Jones Jr. by the plums. I did that video this year, April 2nd, 2023. The views on that should be 1 million, but you know, people like to watch nonsense. When you're kicking knowledge and breaking things down, people don't always want to watch it. But go watch that video, and you'll understand why Roy Jones is still fighting. Because I didn't give you any opinion. I pulled stuff off the internet. You got to take it with a grain of salt, but it's on the internet. And it's very eye-opening to find out why this man is still out here fighting. It's not for the love of the sport, is my understanding. It's real unfortunate. That being said, Roy Jones Jr. back at it again, saying he's a Russian athlete, wants to fight the Russian 6, 7, 8-time Sambo champion, 40-plus wins, single-digit losses in the MMA world. Roy Jones looking to have a crossover boxing MMA match with him sooner than later. Who's going to pick it up, I don't know. But I just think Roy Jones should stop. That man, 54, he still feels he can get in there and compete at the highest level. Look, I get it, but you know what? He can't. All right, and he needs to stop now. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veteran 7 continents in the breeze.